That was
Hey,
the thing that made me to start to think about things too, because we've discussed it multiple times on the show on how there has been studies that UV light is powerful in the battle against COVID. And bro, it's cold there. Never fucking the sun doesn't come out like that. Like it just seems like it's a perfect storm to make those numbers ratchet up like crazy. Plus, I was telling you, craziest thing, and we gotta look it up further. But COVID doesn't linger in the air. Why are fools wearing fucking masks in the street?
I have no idea. Like that shit kills me. Like it's funny when I will start walking around in the streets and people look at me like I'm the one who's crazy, and I'm like, we're outside. Like we're walking around. Fresh air is it's already available. What really kills me is the guys who sit in their car by themselves with masks on. Those people. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on here? So like,
First of all,
I think yesterday I went to Shake Shack and I got something to eat real quick. And I had my whatever. I went inside. I put my mask, put the order. I came outside. I took my mask off, real quick. I was outside, and the guy was maybe I would say like 8 feet away. That they didn't give you your food. He's like, "Sir, you have to wear your mask to come over here to pick your stuff up." And I was like, "I understand that, but I'm standing all the way over here, and my order's not even ready. Why are you even worrying about me out of your purview?" To go and pick up my food from you. Like I know what I'm supposed to do, and there's people just so paranoid and anal. And I told my my high school chat, I was like, I think I'm officially defeated against woke culture. I think I'm mentally taxed out in a sense. It beat me. They literally won, and in a sense of like, there's so many people who are smart that are naive and ignorant to facts and evidence that I don't have the mental capacity to speak to people anymore who don't use statistics in the right way. I just can't. It doesn't fathom my brain, and I'm like, every time I think about it, I'm mentally just beat, like worn out.
It was bizarre to me because I feel like every house that I visited, everybody had the fucking news on. So you're watching the news, but you got no data. So maybe we should stop watching the news and maybe we need to start reading some fucking articles. And not just the headlines like we talked about in the past, and different news outlets. Check out CNN, CNNBC, Fox, ABC News, I don't know, the Huffington Post, the LA Times, the Washington Post, San Diego Tribune. I don't know. I think when you're just having it from the eyewitness news point of view, all they telling you is motherfuckers are getting shot. That's all they say. Hello, 2 bodies found. Hey, I just read an article today. I don't know if you've seen this on your feed. 2 dudes just had a dude hostage in the Bronx on 233rd. Ran up on homeboy like he was, like they were, Con Edison. Took $2,000 off a homeboy and I think his cell phone. So it's just like, I understand that we've become more consumed with media than ever. But come on, man.
Denzel says it's the best. If you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. If you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. But if you do watch the news, you're misinformed.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's even possible.
So
that was have integrity.
Exactly. And it used to be like that. And it just because it became just about getting the most clicks, getting the most views, getting the most eyeballs on you, as opposed to reporting the news as it's supposed to be. And it sucks. And it just the media just scares people. And then you have the media scares the parents and the grandparents. Then they pass that on to their kids, and then they're scaring their kids. And now the kids can't do something, and now the kids are like, "Oh, I can't do something because my parents." Like, we can't keep imposing a virus has 99% survival rate. We're gonna go loot. What happens if I was thinking about this the other day? What happens if we run into a virus that's 60% kills people? Like you only survive 60% of the time. That means there's a 40% chance you're gonna die. Like, it's literally Armageddon. Like, we're gonna.
Bro, I'm getting really nervous because I feel like we're there. We're close. We're circling the drain so bad. If we go through one more thing, this might snap America. It's scary. I was paranoid 2 years ago when this happened because I thought it was going to be the zombie apocalypse. We never got there, but everything leads up to like I Am Legend and the vaccine. We're right there. We don't even know what's going to be the repercussions of that vaccine. But dude, like as a dad, as a husband, and as somebody who wants to, like you were saying earlier, raise our communities up, bro, I'm shook as shit. This country's not ready, and because they are so misinformed, we'd be fucked if something crazy happens again.
That's the issue I have. Is like everybody has smartphones, but everybody's ignorant. Like everybody's dumb. Like you got a smartphone, and I feel like it's made people dumber. Like,
But of course it has, because remember, we used to have the Encyclopedia Britannica. So smartphone basically means you don't need to be smart, because I can ask Google fucking anything. So before, where you had to know some shit and be, intellectual and kind of savvy, you don't need that anymore. I can talk shit in a conversation and be like, wait, 1 second, let me Google that.
Yep.
Google, by the way, invest in Google. Now, I don't give you a hot stock tip, but goddamn, it seems like everybody's using it. Because no one reads a book, no one cracks a thing, no one reads a news article. It's just fuck it. We'll get Google, and whatever Google says, it is. But people don't realize that Google has search engine optimization, and people are fucking ranking their stories and their bullshit, and just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's true.
exactly. And then you get, like if you get multiple. Remember, like when you was in school, you had to do citations. You had to do like, all right, where did you get this statistics from? You got it from the CDC. Okay, cool. Now you need to have 3 or 4 more citations to back up your first citation. Like, so you got to do a lot of fact checking on your own, because then whatever the teacher will go back or professor will go back and make sure that these citations are true. It's not like that anymore. It's all right. I read this one article on Vox.com and that's it. And that's it. Instead of supposed to read maybe 5-6 articles, that let's say 5-6 articles are cool. They're all having the same story and all synchronizing the same thing. Then it's a little bit better. But people don't do that. All right.
Like you were saying before, like you making your own analysis based on those 5 different articles.
Yep. And it's a scary thing that I don't want to be a part of. Like I said, this woke thing, I'm defeated. I'm literally defeated by it.
I'm never giving up. Fuck those motherfuckers. Fuck that. Some of the stuff, like I said, you know what's crazy about the woke culture? That I think the big part of the fatigue is the overcorrection. You understand? Like, it'd be cool if it was just a little bit, but there's like so much shit. Like, basically, we're trying to correct shit from the 1920s to now. And 100 years is happening in an hour, and it just seems like it's overwhelming.
You know what the woke culture reminds me of a little bit? As of you ever speaking to a person who's they're smart and educated, but when you say something, they correct you right every single time right after. Like even if you're just talking shit, just rambling. So if you be like,
by the way,
yeah, be like, oh, this person there, and they're like, oh, you're using there wrong or something, like along those lines.
What I tell those fucking jerks to say, hey, listen, show me your fucking degree in English before you start breaking my balls, okay? Because I didn't see no certificate from fucking Harvard from you, bro. Slow down, relax.
Even if they did, like, this not.
I would feel better if somebody from Harvard was correcting me. Most of these fools ain't doing shit, and I'm so glad you could conjugate a verb. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, you're a janitor.
Exactly. Oh, they'd be like, oh, it's to whom? Like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, we're having a conversation. You understand what I'm saying? But that's what the woke culture feels like to me.
Gotcha.
Because like even talk about the woke culture. You seen the thing in the news with Meek Mills? Mm-mm. All right, so Meek Mills has spit a bar. Mm-hmm. Like he was making a metaphor to a chopper, and he said Kobe in the same sentence.
Oh, that was the shit that he got in trouble for.
Yeah.
With Mrs. Kobe.
Correct. And people try to take it out of context, but that's how rap has always been. 100%. Rap has always been similes and metaphors and making correlations. So,
listen, there's a song called WAP. Let's stop it right now.
Exactly.
Stop. How are you scrutinizing rap? Rap is an art. It's
exactly.
Like going to an Andrew Pollock painting and be like, well, he didn't draw the characters.
Exactly.
Like, bro,
because he said something. Meek Mill said something along the lines of like, "Oh, some shit. I'm gonna get my chopper like Kobe," but what he was getting to, and people don't understand,
about access
in rap culture, he was talking about that if he goes out on the streets with his gun, because it's called a chopper, it's called a gun.
Okay, see.
So he's gonna exactly. So he's gonna go out in the streets and with a chopper, and then he's gonna end up like Kobe, where they're gonna lose a great one. So he's gonna do something stupid because he's gonna go outside with a gun and shoot somebody or whatever, and they're gonna lose a legendary person where he was he's kind of comparing himself like he's gonna be like he's a legendary rapper, like a legendary person. The world's gonna lose. But it came out just a wordplay. People didn't understand it and thought like it's super insensitive.
But people, yo, bro, it's so crazy.
It's for anything.
I said it too. Wait, read, check it out. You know, because you were talking about this a couple shows back, maybe even 5 shows back, about waiting till all the news comes to you and then kind of going in. But they're so quick, bro. One person says something on Twitter, bro, and it's like a forest fire. Everybody swarms to it like bees on honey, bro, and it's over. I mean, you know, I think someone recently might get burned for saying this, but homegirl from Star Wars, she didn't say. I didn't think her references were that crazy, but it's like, okay, you know, now we're at a place where you just can't say shit about people. It's almost like that thing. What's it called when someone it changes their gender and then you refer to them as their past gender?
Misgendering.
No. What is it called?
Dead naming.
Dead naming. That shit now is become a whole another animal. So like if you die, you can't, hey, don't say nothing about homeboy unless it's reverent. You can't even use it. Same thing with homegirl. You know, you say anything about the Holocaust, you're torch.
Exactly. And the best part about that whole thing, Gina Carano, that's her name. And
yes, I know.
The best thing about that whole thing that was put into perspective is that they proved her right.
Yep. She was just on your boy's show.
Yeah,
Bill Shapiro.
Yep, Ben Shapiro. I watched it. I watched the whole thing.
Was it fire?
Yeah, it was dope. You know, she explained herself more clearly. And the funny thing about that is he's a Jewish person who wasn't offended.
Holy shit, folks. Imagine that. Imagine that.
And then her counterpart, Pedro Pascal, who's my homeboy,
I love him tough.
He did a similar thing in 2018, but since he's on the Democratic side, it's okay. He's on their team. Wow. He took a picture of a 1942 Germany. He took a picture that wasn't a picture in Mexico at the border with kids in cages and compared it to the kids in the Holocaust in 2018. Yeah, but since he's on their team, and since he's was against Trump, it was okay.